Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Smash the like button if you love me. Subscribe if you're new. Please have your say. A very warm welcome to this live streaming video. I promised I would do a live video, and tonight is a very important night because the Hollywood Reporter has posted a very exciting, important article about legacy casting rumors, and we're going to get into it. For those of you who don't want to watch this live video, who are not present for this live video, who don't want to rewatch this live video, we're going to get into it in tomorrow's DC Universe Daily pre-recorded video as well. So if you don't like it being done live, we'll be doing a pre-recorded daily video tomorrow talking about going over all of this again and whatever else has happened from the time I go to bed till I get up tomorrow morning. So I'll be back doing this all over again in tomorrow's edition of the DC Universe Daily. Right, Ronnie Dodge, hey mate, instructing casting. Yeah, Ronnie Dodge, interesting, yeah, I thought you meant that. Yes, very, very interesting casting rumours. We must be clear, they are rumours. John, hey Mick, good evening, John. So let's get into this article. I'm sure more of you will come in as this video progresses. Searching for Superman, inside the quest to cast DC's new top hero, exclusive by Boris Kitt and Maya Galupo. Ronnie Dodge, the rumours, David, is my pick for Superman, to be honest. I will get into it all very shortly, Ronnie. So, right. I'll come off it. Jesus Christ, this flipping tablet. Jesus Christ, right. So, where are we? Let's start again. Right. So, the quest for James Gunn's Superman is up and away. Casting for Superman Legacy, the feature that is meant to kick off Gunn and Safran's much vaunted first chapter of DC Studios, is hitting a crucial phase with a short list of names bubbling up for the roles of Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and even Lex Luthor. David Corenswet, who has recently played the ill-fated protagonist opposite Maya Goth in Pearl, is among the top contenders to play Kent, aka Superman, advancing to the screen test stage that will likely take place after Memorial Day or early June. Multiple sources tell the Hollywood Reporter 2 other contenders may also be in the mix, but their identities remain unknown. So I want to talk about David Corenswet very briefly at this time. This is a guy who's been fan cast on many occasions, and he's been rumoured on many occasions, even before James Gunn became involved in DC Universe. What this means is it's easy to shove him in the rumoured casting. So you really need to take that with a pinch of salt. This tablet's not behaving right, right. Jacob Elordi, the sought-after star who broke out as the resident villain on HBO series Euphoria, is a name that surfaced for the role of Kent, but sources say he never submitted himself into the ring. British actors Tom Brittney and Andrew Richardson are also names that were in the early mix. As for Lane, the spunky reporter at Metropolis's Daily Planet news organisation, contenders have been Emma Mackey, one of the stars of the Netflix series Sex Education, who will appear in Warner Brothers' title Barbie, Rachel Brosnahan, the Mrs. Maisel, Bridgerton, actress Phoebe Dynevor, and Samara Weaving, last seen in Scream in the latest Scream. It is unclear who is advancing on to the testing stage. Brosnahan is said to have delivered an outstanding audition, but at 32 may be in the older range for what Gunn is ultimately hoping to achieve. A look Metropolis heroics via 20-something characters. Sources caution that some of these are not screen testing and have merely been in the mix. One source, without providing additional detail, dismissed some of the names as chat room list, which I've already kind of given you that about David Corenswet, been rumoured for a very, very long time. Warner's had no comment, and one insider said the filmmakers and studios are nowhere near a decision. I don't believe that. One role that seems to have only one person earmarked in the classic villain Luthor is Nicholas Hoult. Currently starring in vampire thriller Rainfield, has been tipped to play the bald-headed evil genius. Holt's name has been swirling around Legacy for several weeks, now with some theorizing he was up for Superman. The actor had a previous close call with the DC movie realm when the runner-up to play Batman for Matt Reeves, with the role going to Robert Pattinson. The studio has loved him since Fury Road, said one source referring to Warner's 2015 action classic from George Miller. And while the roles being chased by many of the town's up-and-comers include the trio of classic characters, sources say the movie will be populated by many faces as it will seek to introduce DC heroes that are already established in the movie's setting. Yes, I did speak about this months ago, that James Gunn would take advantage of Superman Legacy and populate it with the other DC characters that are going to be part of this universe. So this is not just a Superman movie, this is an introduction to his DC universe. Superman Legacy will be the first film under the Gunn Safran regime at DC, making the casting of particular note. The superhero holds a place of particular importance for Gunn. I completely relate to Superman because he's everything I am. Gunn told THR in an April cover story, he's somebody who is an outsider, who feels like an alien, but also the ultimate insider because he's fucking Superman. And that's kind of like what I feel like. As for the macroeconomics of Superman, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav is betting big on the new superhero strategy. DC is the biggest value creation opportunity for us, Zaslav said in February during a Q4 earnings report. In 2022 and early 2023, WBD clearly cleared the DC deck, shelving Batgirl indefinitely, claiming a tax write-down and releasing Black Adam and Shazam Fury of the Gods to mixed results at the box office. Still to come is Blue Beetle, which was once set for HBO Max but was moved to an August theatrical release, and June's long-delayed Flash movie that has already been screened in full for exhibitors at CinemaCon with positive results. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, due out in December, is the final DC film made by the previous regime. I think that's it. Let's just go on this tablet. Come on, man. So I think that's it. Yeah. So that is the big report coming out of the Hollywood Reporter. This is Boris Kitt's weekly Heat Vision, and he's got some rumors there for you. I don't know how good these rumors are, because at the end of the day, even the article says that some of these are just, well, rumors. Some of them are not even testing for this role. And I will go back to David Corenswet and say he has been someone that's been talked about before James Gunn even arrived. I think most of these names are probably not going to be anywhere near these roles, apart from one. And I will go back to the name that I think has a very good chance of being in this movie. Why have I forgotten his name? Yeah, Nicholas Hoult. Nicholas Hoult is being rumored to be up for either Superman, but more than likely Lex Luthor. So I think that Hoult probably, if he's the only name linked to Luthor, there's a good chance he's going to get it. And I think that maybe James Gunn's wanted to work with him for a while. But yeah, Nicholas Hoult is getting a lot of praise for his performance in Renfield with Nicolas Cage, the great Nicolas Cage, who nearly played Superman as well. So it's interesting. Would Nicholas Hoult make a great Lex Luthor? I think he would look great bald. He's a very, very good actor. He will be a very youthful looking Lex Luthor. But yeah, I'm not opposed to that kind of casting. Ultimately, it's all in the writing. James Gunn has spoken about the rumors, saying he will not comment on these on these casting rumors that it's nobody's business but the actors at this point. So he's not going to spill any beans, and that's obvious because they're going through the casting process right now. But what James Gunn does need to understand, this is Superman. This ain't Guardians. Every time you draw breath, they're going to want to know. Everyone's going to become a casting expert all of a sudden. Half these names I've never heard of. But of course, Trust Movie Twitter, yeah, that would be good. Yeah, she would be excellent. We're going to have to play it by ear. I'm 50 years old. This could be my final Superman movie. I enjoy the rumors. It's all part of the hype for me. And I don't take it too seriously. These names, I'm not taking these names seriously. I'm going to wait for the official announcement. Something else that James Gunn also said, that he's already cast one person for the movie, and it's not one of the big three, Lois, Lex, Clark. And so that's interesting because he did mention that there is someone from Guardians Volume 3 who definitely will be in the movie. So he's cast one person, probably someone he's worked with before. Who that is, I don't know. And it's not out of the big characters from the Superman family. So it could be another DC character. So that's very interesting. Yeah. So the Nicholas Hoult thing interesting to me. So he could be playing Lex, but this could just be misdirect. We could be very cold on these rumors, and ultimately we may not be getting any of these names. But yeah, let me know what you think of the casting rumors. This is just the beginning, and it's not the rumors that should bother James Gunn. It's once he announces the castings, because everyone is going to have an opinion. Nobody knew Henry Cavill was getting the role. Nobody knew Brandon Routh was getting the role. So, there's always surprises with these castings. And, there'll be rumors, there'll be innuendos, but James Gunn is very good at keeping secrets. And you're going to see that a lot. And, he's going to say, this ain't true, that ain't true. That's what James does. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting who he casts in these iconic roles, what direction he's going to go in. Will he pick a traditional actor to play Superman? Will it be an unknown actor? I like, lots of people say to me, Mick, who would you like to play Superman? This one, that one. An unknown is the best thing. Now, obviously, David Corenswet is unknown, and the only reason we know him, because as I say, he's been rumoured for such a long time, as I said earlier, before James Gunn even arrived on the scene. So to me, that's just pure rumour. That's just pure speculation. You can take that to the bank. He may most probably be him because his name's been up there for a long time. And once you mention him, it's probably because you don't actually know who they're looking to cast. Now, I don't know how old Nicholas Hoult is. And, I don't think he's a spring chicken. Nicholas Hoult has got to be at least, 35 to 40 now, surely. So he ain't going to be playing Superman because Henry's not playing Superman because apparently he's too old. So he can't be playing Superman, but he could be playing Lex Luthor, as has been rumored. Now, Lois Lane, there's some names in there. Again, I've never heard of these actors who are rumored as Lois, so I can't really give any conjecture. Again, it's going to be an interesting one. Will it be a known actor? Will it be an unknown actor? Very interesting. If you're going to go famous, go with Karen Gillan. Red hair, brilliant actor, looks great. Not sure how old she is. But yeah, I think she would be brilliant. I think Karen will be involved in Gunn's DC universe. So I think we can assume that she will be involved. I don't know about Chris Pratt and people like that. But I think there's a possibility that Chris will be involved. But he's going to populate Superman Legacy with a lot of other DC characters. Wouldn't surprise me if we meet his Batman in this movie. Now, we already know, unless you've been asleep, that we kind of see Batman at the end of the Flash movie. A little bit of a spoiler for you, but we don't see a face. We don't see who this Batman is. Certainly not Affleck, certainly not Keaton, but a brand new Batman. Probably just a stunt double. It won't be the actor. Just to kind of show that Barry's now in a brand new universe. But yeah, it's a very, very exciting time. I think you'll probably get Superman and Batman cast maybe at the same time. John, Nicholas Hoult is 33. Thank you, John. 33, unlikely he would be playing Superman. He could play Superman, but I think 33, he may be going above the age. This is a 10-year plan by James Gunn as well. So I think Superman will be quite a lot younger than 33. He could be 10 years younger. But is 33 too young to play Lex Luthor? Not necessarily, but in the comics, Lex is quite considerably older than Clark Kent. So that'll be an interesting thing as well to see if what Nicholas Hoult is doing there. But considering he was runner-up to play Batman, here's one for you that nobody's talking about. Considering he was runner-up to Robert Pattinson playing the Batman, could Nicholas Hoult actually be James Gunn's DC Universe Batman? And is that who he's playing? Could he be playing Bruce Wayne in Superman Legacy? As this article says, there will be other DC characters populated. James Gunn's DCU will have a fully fledged DC Universe in it, a fully fledged Justice League in it. They're all going to be there already. This isn't the Snyderverse where we're going to see the Justice League being built up slowly. It's all going to be there. It's a fully populated universe, and we're going to see that in Superman Legacy. Now, personally, I like that idea. I may even prefer that idea because you don't want to, basically the DCEU decided to build out the Justice League slowly because the MCU decided to build out the Avengers slowly. But I think they're going to say, look, this is a universe. These characters are already here. We're not doing, a DCU origin story here. John, Nicholas Hoult as Green Arrow. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I'm just thinking because he was runner-up to play Batman, maybe James Gunn's thinking, well, if he's not Batman in Matt Reeves' universe, he could be Batman in my universe. I think he'd make a great Bruce Wayne as well. So don't be surprised if Nicholas Hoult isn't playing Lex, isn't playing Superman, but is playing Batman, playing the Dark Knight. So that's my pick. Remember, clip this. That's my theory, that Nicholas Hoult is going to be the DC Universe's Batman. Could I be right? Am I wrong there? Probably wrong. I'm mostly wrong. But you never know. And so, yes, and I believe there will be a Green Arrow already populated in the DC Universe. So in Superman Legacy, we're going to be introduced to all these iconic characters, a fully populated universe. Now, a couple of weeks ago, James Gunn showed us a picture of all the heroes from a DC Comics cover. And I think that's him saying that I'm creating a fully fledged universe. It's there already. We're not going to do a do-it-yourself thing where we build them out. It's going to be there. And I think that's good. And I think, so Superman Legacy won't necessarily just be a Superman movie. It is going to be his movie, but we're going to see all these other characters around him as well. We already know that Superman in Legacy would have been Superman for around a year. So it's not an origin story, but in Superman Legacy, he hasn't been Superman for very long, around a year. So it's a young, fledgling universe. So I expect to see a lot of Easter eggs and, cameos of other DC characters in the film. So this is huge. This is James Gunn's opportunity. The world building should be interesting as well. So we'll see how he does this. We're going to see what James Gunn is made of. It's such an important film. As they said, this is huge for Zaslav. This is part of his plan. John, when do you think we will get the first teaser trailer for Joker 2? Now, Joker 2 finished shooting about 3-4 weeks ago. It will take a little bit longer, I think, to mock up something because obviously there's going to be a lot of rough cuts. He's going to be looking at all the reels. Where are we now? We're in May. We're in May now, right? So I would say we'll have to wait for that I mean, you're talking about when's it going to be released? Is it October? It's next year that film is released next year. Wouldn't surprise me if you see something at Comic-Con. It's late next year that the Joker sequel is released. So yeah, maybe we'll get a little teaser trailer at Comic-Con, John. I wouldn't expect anything anytime soon, but who knows? I think it's early to see a trailer of Joker Folie à Deux yet, but who knows? A very exciting movie, rumored to be a musical, Lady Gaga as Harley. So yes, I mean, that's a film I am truly looking forward to. But yes, they're the rumours. Interesting. Look, they're not rumours that sweep me off my feet because I don't think most of them are that accurate. I really don't. I think they're cold. I think most of them don't really, look, they don't know. This is not the old DCEU. I mean, when Zack Snyder was running things, there were rumours, people knew what was going on, and when he left, there were so many leaks. Look at the leaks for Shazam! Fury of the Gods, the whole plot of the movie. Look at the leaks for the Flash movie. You know, it's all out there. We've known the plot of that movie for a very long time. James Gunn promised when he first came in, this wouldn't be the case, that he would cap the leaks. We need the leaks to cap. We can't have a whole movie plot being leaked before we see it. It's simply not right. James Gunn doesn't like it, and I don't blame him for not liking it. We want to be surprised, right? And I think this is a new universe. This is going to be one man's vision. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what he does, and I'll judge it when I see it. I'll judge the casting when I get it. And it's not about hate. Whatever I say, whatever I think, it's based on the opinion on that piece of news. And, you know, I've had an argument with someone over on Twitter today about the Snyderverse, because I can love the Snyderverse, but I can also critique the Snyderverse. I can love James Gunn, but I can critique James Gunn and his decisions, because that's what it's all about, having a platform. It can't be blowing smoke up somebody's ass. Sometimes you have to be critical. John, there are too many TV spots for the Flash online. Well, this is what they did with Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and they leaked the Wonder Woman cameo, which is an awful cameo. When I first saw that cameo, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a fucking joke. She walks up. She's just not the Wonder Woman that Zack Snyder introduced. She's walking up all confident with her theme. That theme is a fighting theme. You don't play that theme when she's just walking up like that. You know, there should have been a slower medley. It was so bad. But yeah, John, they're going to be teasing the Flash movie so much because they're desperate for that film to make top dollar. The screening at CinemaCon went down very well, if you believe what these people say. I'm not sure if I do. Hunter Iggy, hello, Hunter. How's my main man doing? Movies TV man, Nicholas Hoult looked like Lex Luthor from the comic with the blue. So yes, he could play Lex Luthor, but he also could be playing anyone. He could be playing no one. John, thoughts on the Beetlejuice 2 news? Well, do you know what? We live in a very unoriginal time in Hollywood. As we keep on discussing on my daily show, this industry is in a lot of trouble. You know, they're firing people. Streaming is burning to the ground. And, you know, I don't think we needed a Beetlejuice 2, but some of you will say, well, Mick, you support the Joker sequel. And did we need a Joker sequel? I think we needed a Joker sequel more than we needed a Beetlejuice sequel. Look, to be honest with you, I like Beetlejuice. I wasn't that into it to want a sequel. So if you're excited about it, that's great. I'm not particularly excited about it. Is Tim Burton directing this again? I'm not sure. I hope he is, because if it's someone else. Although, what does excite me, because Tim Burton's got a little partnership now with Alfred Gough and Miles Miller, the creators of Smallville. He works with them on Wednesday. That's gone down very well. And Gough and Miller, the former creators of Smallville, are writing the screenplay for Beetlejuice 2. So very, very interesting. I'm a big fan of Alan Miles, of course, because I'm a big Smallville fan. So that is a little bit exciting, John. But yeah, I'm not the biggest of, I'm not obsessed with Beetlejuice or anything. So it doesn't really mean much to me. And again, did we need a sequel? So yeah. And I mean, what can you do with a sequel? I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. But yeah, it's interesting. But again, it's just reboots, relaunches, revivals. There's nothing new out there. And, you know, right now, of course, we've got, you know, the Writers Guild of America on strike. So nothing's going to be happening anytime soon. John is directing. Well, that's a good thing. Gotham Miller are writing. So that should be a really good type film. What that means is it should be good. There should be no extremism. There should be no, you know, the normal shit we get. I love Tim Burton. Tim Burton's a genius. I love his Alice in Wonderland movie. I love his Batman movies. And what again, WB stitched another director up and didn't let him do the third Batman movie. That's something I'd like him to do. Make a third Batman movie with Michael Keaton. Maybe a Batman Beyond movie with Michael Keaton. That will be interesting. But yeah, I love Tim Burton. Tim Burton is a freaking genius, and that's for sure. Maybe that's someone that James Gunn wouldn't mind working with in the future at DC Elseworld. So we'll see. But yeah, you're going to get a lot of discussions now. There's going to be a lot of Superman Legacy rumors. I can assure you of that. We're going to go over all of this properly tomorrow on the pre-recorded daily show, the DC Universe Daily. I'm sure there'll be other talking points to talk about as well. But I thought I'd do a live because I haven't done a live for ages, and you lot are going, when are you going to do a live? When are you going to do a live? Now, I've done it on the worst night possible because I know Saturdays are shit for live videos and not many people come in. So the people who are not here, they're going to go, when are you going to do a live video? I did one and you didn't turn up. You know, I'm here, ain't I? I did my bit. I've done my bit, haven't I? I've turned up for you on this big rumor about Superman Legacy, and it's going to be very exciting now. I can't wait till they start shooting next year. I can't wait to see whoever's playing Superman in the costume. By the way, trunks or no trunks, I believe there is no question that James Gunn's Superman will have trunks, and my hat's not in either ring. I don't care, but I care because I love Superman. He's my main character, right? But it don't bother me if he's wearing trunks or not. But he will wear trunks in Superman Legacy. John, I won't be surprised if WB leaked the Flash cameos. To be honest with you, John, in terms of cameos, most of it's in the Speed Force. I mean, there's not really anything major to leak unless they've done something that I don't know about. If there's a surprise, there might be a surprise. If there's a surprise, they shouldn't leak it. But I don't think there's many more surprises that we don't know about in terms of the Flash. The whole plot has been leaked. We pretty much know what this movie is. Barry Allen, blah, 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 Batman, Batflex at the beginning. Barry Allen goes back in time to save his mum. He meets a younger version, a 2013 version of himself, and then he changes the past, and he's in a new universe, which is the Flashpoint universe. He meets, Keaton's Batman. He fights Zod, blah, blah. I don't think there's many surprises about this movie, but certainly people at CinemaCon were very, very impressed with it. But we will see. We will see if that film, the finished article of this film, is anything to write home about. It's going to be very, very interesting, boys and girls. Very interesting. And I can't wait till that's finally released. Then we got Blue Beetle. Then we should have Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom if they don't shelve it, because you never know. You never know with WB right now. So we've got these DC movies. The writer's strike can't hurt those DC movies. James Gunn has written a first draft of Superman Legacy, but he seems confident enough to announce a production start date. They're in pre-production right now. So that film is being prepped right now in pre-production. James Gunn is, marketing Guardians 3 at this moment. I think after this weekend, he should start focusing on DC and leaving the marketing to one side. I think this weekend, the second weekend, is a Mother's Day weekend in America, and that's why he's still pushing Guardians free because he knows there's money to be made. And of course, if the film does well, he does well because he's obviously on a profit share with the movie, as most directors are. And so I hope, John, they don't start leaking all the cameos because that will be a shame. I mean, we already know a lot of them, and they're, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, you never know. They could be giving us a surprise. Although there was one, there was an interesting one that I did get excited about. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to spoil it. But Nicolas Cage, no, let's not talk about it. But yeah, so that's exciting. But I think most of your cameos are going to be when Barry's in the Speed Force. Kind of blink and you miss them situations. It's not really like your typical MCU cameos when they're there, you see them. This is going to be kind of, let's watch the Speed Force. Let's see who's running past now. Let's see what's going on there. And I think that's how they're going to do the cameos, which gives the movie space to breathe in terms of Barry and his story. So, it's, the cameos are going to be there, but they're not going to take up much time in the movie. This really is Barry Allen's movie. It is not a Batman movie. Because in the graphic novel Flashpoint, there's two versions of Batman in that graphic novel anyway, but they've just changed what they've done. So kind of it's comic book accurate to have the main Batman of the time at the beginning of the story, which is Batfleck. But the Michael Keaton Batman is the different thing because in the graphic novel, of course, it's Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, who's Batman in the Flashpoint universe. That isn't the case in this film. That's unless they've got a surprise for us. But so it's very weird in the sense that, when Barry goes back home, he resets the universe. He's in a strange new world. And again, he's not going to see the Batman he knows and loves. So, and again, we have to ask the question, what happens to Miller after the Flash movie? Will he be the Flash in a new universe? He's the one introducing us to this new universe. It's his antics that create the new universe. So will they use him again? James Gunn is not willing to talk about that at this point. Very interesting. He doesn't want to talk about Ezra Miller's future. So that's an interesting one. So that's not looking good for Ezra Miller. But we will see, everyone. We will see. There's a lot of unanswered questions for DC right now. They're waiting for box offices to come through. Clearly, like Zachary Levi, will we see him again? Unlikely. We'll see. And I don't think Jason Momoa continues playing Aquaman either. But he'll play. You know what's going on there. So he'll be back in James Gunn's universe. I'm quite sure. But yes, it's the rumors have begun for Superman Legacy. I'm excited about that. I really am, and I'm sure you're excited about that. Some people, are coming from a fandom where they're saying they're not excited for that they're going to boycott James Gunn's universe. That's up to them. I can't tell people what to do. They've got to do what they want to do. And if you think that's going to make a difference, good luck to you. But I think that James Gunn has already proven that he can make good comic book material. I don't think he's ever made a bad comic book movie. Or let's bring Peacemaker into it. That was a very good show as well. And that worked for a lot of people as well. But this is an opportunity for him. This is a big deal. Superman Legacy is the hugest film ever. It has to be the best thing he's ever touched. This is Superman. There's no messing about with Superman. Everyone has an opinion about Superman. And you've got to get it right. What does right mean? I don't know. Getting Superman right means different things to different people. I'm a bit more flexible with Superman than most people are. I've been talking today about the whole tornado sequence in Man of Steel, and I can understand Jonathan Kent not wanting his son to put himself out there to keep him safe. I don't understand how Clark Kent stands there and allows his father to die. I love Man of Steel, but for me, that was a little bit of an issue. I've upset a few people on Twitter. There's been a few arguments on Twitter because people don't know how to agree to disagree. If you don't agree with them, you're going to get blocked. All of a sudden, it's an argument. All of a sudden, they're going on your profile. All of a sudden, they're searching for a gotcha, looking at your old tweets. It really is really sad, isn't it, that you just can't have an opposing opinion. You can't agree to disagree. And I think that's very, very sad. Don't unfollow people just because they're not your echo chamber once or twice. Agree to disagree. That's life. You know, that's the way life works. And I think if we get angry with each other constantly because we don't have the same opinions, it's very, very childish, isn't it? Someone called me a random on Twitter. So I said, a random on Twitter is calling me a random on Twitter. And then he goes, you're calling me a random on Twitter. It's childish, isn't it? What, I wasn't disrespecting you. I just had an opinion. Accept my opinion. Disagree with it. That's fine. Don't insult people. There's no point. Don't get in people's DMs and swear at them and threaten them. You're never going to follow those threats through anyway. What's the point? Live and let live. That's what I say. Enjoy what you enjoy. Have your opinions and move on. You're never going to change somebody's mind. I can't change your mind once your decision's made. Your mind's made up. I won't change my mind. Although sometimes I do. In fact, I change my mind quite a lot. I can have one opinion and then I think about something. Then I have another opinion. And that's a good thing as well. But unfortunately, people do get carried away. Then they tell you, well, it doesn't matter. It's not real life. Well, I know Twitter's not real life. I know social media is not real life. We use social media to talk, to state our opinions, to say, oh, I just had a yogurt or whatever you use social media for. So I know it's not real life, but it's fun. It can be fun if you chill out and relax. I'm here to relax and chill out on social media. I'm not a snake oil salesperson. I'm not here to sell anything. This life won't make me any money because I'm not monetized, because it's not a successful channel. I do these things because I enjoy doing these things. I do these things because I like talking to fellow geeks and nerds. I go on Twitter because I enjoy it. It's funny. It's fun. It's not deep for me. There's some people are so ambitious. They become successful on social media. They make money, and the more money they make, the more they want to make. Personally, I won't pay to consume anything on social media. I won't go on YouTube and pay for someone. I'm not going to pay for a super chat for someone. No, of course not. Right? Because I don't think that their opinions are any more qualified than mine. So why would I pay for a super chat? Or the other thing where you can get extra content if you pay them. I forgot what they call it, right? It's all a rip-off. It's all a rip-off. At the end of the day, you can find 1 million people on social media with different opinions. You don't need to pay anyone for anything. Everything should be free, right? We're all human beings. There's nothing special. Just because someone's got 1 million subscribers doesn't make them better than you. You're just as good as them. Maybe you're better than them. Just because you're not well known and you're not sitting in front of a camera gas bagging away, that doesn't make them better than you. You're a fan, you're a geek, you're a nerd, you're a football fan, whatever you are. You're as qualified as they are, and you have every right to state your opinion as long as you're constructive with that opinion. And there's a lot of passion on CBMs. People are passionate about their superheroes. People are passionate about this stuff. Everyone has an opinion. The DC fandom is very divided. And it has been divided ever since June of 2013 when Man of Steel was released. There's lots of people very angry in the way that Snyder was treated. It wasn't a good thing to treat the man the way they did, to lie that he left because of his daughter's suicide. That's not how you treat people, but that is how Hollywood treat people, even though they pretend they're compassionate and kind and they love each other and it's the fans that are the problem. MSGT in the house, Mick. Hello, MSGT. This live video happened. My motivation for it was because the Hollywood Reporter posted an article from Boris Kit about loads of Superman Legacy casting rumours. Superman, Lois, Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult is being rumoured as Lex Luthor as well. But I'm going to be going through everything on tomorrow's pre-recorded video, the DC Universe Daily. We will go all over this again. So don't worry about missing anything. If any other news, we'll update you. So yeah, the DC Universe Daily will be happening tomorrow, as it does every day. This is just a bonus video for free. Because on Movies TV Man, pay for a goddamn thing, as you're ever going to pay for this anyway. But I'm just saying it's free. So if you've got any views about Superman Legacy, if you've got any views about the rumoured casting choices, which I don't think are the casting choices, very, very interesting. But yeah, my opinion about the David Corenswet Superman rumour, I think it's bogus, because he's been rumoured and he's been fan cast for such a long time. He's an easy person to say, oh, it must be him. Now, it may be him. I don't, at this stage, don't believe it is him. But yeah, I could easily be wrong about that. I don't have any issue with Corenswet playing Superman. I just think he's too much of an obvious rumour. And personally, I don't think it's him. MSGT, are there rumours of what the parts are that would give us an idea of what this Superman movie might look like? Well, I can go back and tell you the names. So we got, where are we? Yeah, so David Corenswet is rumoured to play Superman. I'm going to go through all of this on tomorrow's show anyway. But yeah, you got Jacob Elordi, so the sought-after star who broke out as the resident villain on HBO series Euphoria. As for Lois Lane, we've got, who we got? We've got Emma McKay, one of the stars of the Netflix series Sex Education, who will appear in Warner Brothers' title Barbie. Rachel Brosnahan, the Emmy-winning star of Amazon's acclaimed The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Bridgerton actress Phoebe Diviner, and Samara Weaving, last seen in Scream. So yeah, and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, maybe. So they're the rumours, MSGT. But that doesn't really mean much, and it certainly doesn't tell you what this film's going to look like. But what does kind of give you an idea of what this film's going to look like, Boris in this article does say that it just won't be Superman characters in this film. It's going to be populated with brand new versions of these iconic DC characters. This will be a fully populated DC universe in Superman Legacy. Don't be surprised if Batman's there, Wonder Woman's already there. If it is Gal or if it's somebody else, I don't know. But this is going to be a populated universe, an already populated Justice League. This is not going to be starting from the beginning and slowly showing us how the Justice League came together. The Justice League are there. The Titans are probably there. And I think we're going to meet a lot of these DC characters in Superman Legacy. So there'll be a lot of world building in this film as well. So that's what that film's really going to look like. We know we're getting the Authority. They're getting their own movie as well. So we'll see if they turn up in this movie. But their movie won't be before Superman Legacy, because Superman Legacy is the first film in the new DC universe. So we could see the Authority first in Superman Legacy. So clearly James Gunn has got a very interesting plan for the DCU. And in the next couple of years, it's going to come very apparent, as you say, MSGT, what this film looks like. But casting rumours won't give you much of an idea. MSGT, yeah, I prefer not to see the origins. We all know what these main characters are, so hitting the ground running is more exciting. I mean, I don't mind. I'm not one of those people who goes, oh, no, not an origin movie. I don't mind. But in terms of the world building of the DC universe, as you've just said, I'd rather have a fully populated DC universe. They're there. There's a watchtower. There's a Hall of Justice. It's there. We have Titans. We have, Young Justice, whatever, right? You get my meaning. They're there. It's populated. It's a fully populated DC universe, because we didn't have that in the Snyderverse. We didn't have that in the Hamadaverse. We didn't have that in the Bergen-Johns verse. And that's why, one of the reasons it doesn't work. But if you start something with a fully populated universe, that's exciting, because when you see Superman Legacy, you're being introduced to a fully populated DC universe. First of all, it's different to what they were doing before, which is important. And I think James Gunn, with his experience at Marvel and his knowledge of comics, which he certainly has, I think, look, I have faith in James, but I'm not going to sit here and say everything's going to be hunky-dory. We'll wait and see. But I think he's clearly been thinking about this before he got the job. MSGT makes me more excited for this. Yes, this is something I said from the beginning. I mean, before I saw the test screening for the Flash movie, when Barry goes into the new universe, I always said I wanted Barry to come back to see the Hall of Justice there, to see, you know, the Watchtower there, to see a fully populated brand new DC universe. I always wanted that. I like that idea. When you first watch the Justice League animated series or Justice League Unlimited, you've got your Watchtower, you've got everything, you've got all these characters there, and it's great. And it's fully populated. You don't need to be told, oh, Green Arrow was on a boat and he was stranded on an island. They're there, they're the characters, and that's very, very exciting. And, you know, I mean, look, I don't have much faith in this studio, and, you know, my confidence in David Zaslav is waning all the time. But the one good decision he could have made is bringing in James Gunn. Now, let's hope it is a good decision. I mean, it's too good to be true, isn't it? That we actually get a good DC universe, a great DC universe, because this is brand new. This is exciting. MSGT, Watchtower would remove Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. Well, not necessarily, because James may go around it in a different way. I don't know. That, you know, that's kind of semantics, isn't it, MSGT? I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure they'll get to Batgirl eventually. I don't think she's going to be there at the beginning, because obviously Gunn is not going to want to go down the casting choice that they went with the original Batgirl movie that was going to be on HBO Max. So I kind of feel that they're going to leave Batgirl for the time being anyway, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem. You know, I think it's going to be a fully populated universe. She'll be there somewhere. We may not necessarily be introduced to her in Superman Legacy. That might be something we see in, you know, in Brave and the Bold. But yeah, just because you've got a Watchtower doesn't mean she can't be doing something else in the universe. So yeah, So that's the way I look at that one. But yeah, I am with you that I believe having an already populated DC universe is exciting. I think that's great. And, you know, and I think that's what people want to see. I think that's what people want to see. They don't want to go through the houses. They don't want to slowly develop Justice League. They want this universe to be fully populated. And that's an exciting thing. And I definitely think that's the way Gunn's going to go. So I'm not always going to agree on every decision James Gunn makes during his tenure as co-CEO of DC Studios. That's okay. Doesn't mean I hate him. Doesn't mean, you know, I'm selling snake oil or trying to cause trouble or putting out a hot take. We have opinions. If we don't agree, we agree to disagree. That's how my platforms work. And if we can't agree to disagree, we can't be friends. It's as simple as that. If we don't have the intellect to agree to disagree in life, like the idiot I was arguing with on Twitter, I didn't even want to argue with him. I gave my opinion on Man of Steel, and he went nuts. He goes, but you're following me. But I said, yes, because I like your account. But we're arguing. How can you follow me? You know, there's no nuance. There's no understanding. I can follow you and disagree with you. That's the point. You can subscribe to this channel and constructively disagree with me and be friends. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s, I used to sit there with my mates arguing about politics. Did we break up? Did we fall out? No, of course not. Because we were half-decent people, lads and girls, who loved each other. But nobody who's in relationships or is in a community together agrees all the time. But we're in a society today that, you know, people want to be in an echo chamber. I can't give you an echo chamber. I can only give you, I can wake up in the morning, go on Twitter and see all the news and react to it genuinely. That's all I can do. I can't pretend to agree and like the stuff that you like just so you press the like button, just so you subscribe to me. And if you disagree with something and you unsubscribe or you unfollow me, that says something about you, not me. I'm just giving you my genuine opinion about something. And if we're in a world now where people can't handle hearing something of the opposite of what they don't believe in, I think we've got a huge problem. And no wonder President Biden is fighting a world war in Ukraine, because this generation can't handle anything, right? And that's the problem. That's the world we live in today. And it's very, very sad. Agree to disagree. You know, kiss and make up, get over it. But yeah, we live in a very, very strange world, and it's war. Disagreement is a war. It's crazy, isn't it? But yeah, I am very excited about this James Gunn universe. I'm excited in the build-up at the very least. I'm excited to get on the news. You know, the casting rumors are very, very exciting as well. But I wouldn't pay much attention to them. That's my advice to you right now. I wouldn't pay much attention to any casting rumors, because I've not really seen anything on here that jumps up and says to me, yeah, this is definitely happening. I mean, the way Gunn reacted tonight was very interesting. I'm not going to comment on any casting rumors he said. It's no one's business but those actors. You know how James Gunn gets very authoritative sometimes. Look, he loves the attention, doesn't he? I mean, we know the guy's got an ego, rightly or wrongly, but we don't expect you to comment on the rumors anyway, James. I wouldn't ask you seriously to tell me who's going to play Superman, because I know you're not going to tell me. I'm not desperate to know at this stage who's going to play Superman or Lois, but it's exciting. The rumors are exciting, but right now I think we are kind of in the early stages of all of this. But also, I don't think it will be. I think we're looking at 2 or 3 months until these things are cast. Don't forget, they go into the shooting of the film in January of next year. They're already in pre-production, you know, so they have to measure up costumes and things like that. So yes, the casting won't be, you know, too far away. Not from what I can see anyway. But yeah, we are going to go through this properly tomorrow on my daily pre-recorded video. Take my time. We'll get into it. We'll talk about the talking points. But yeah, I've not seen anything in these rumors that says, yeah. And right now, I think we should, chill out a bit, not take it too seriously. As usual with film Twitter, they know everything about every actor. They know who should be cast, who shouldn't be cast. And I don't really pay much attention to those people. I'm honest. I've never heard of half these names, right? Because I don't watch a lot of modern stuff, to be honest with you, because you know I think most of the shit they make today is shit. 2 months ago, I was rewatching 24, and now I'm rewatching Alias, one of my favorite shows ever, as 24 is, as Smallville is. So I'm watching old shit because I hate the new shit. I hate the new shit. But I like my capes. I like the odd thing. I'm a Doctor Who fan, of course, so I can't wait. There's lots of stuff going on with Doctor Who. A trailer was released tonight, 3 episodes, and we've got titles for those 3 60th anniversary special episodes as well, just in case you're a Doctor Who fan. We saw Donna, we saw Tennant's Doctor, very exciting. MSGT, whoever they cast for this and that, the fans are going to whine. They always do until they see the movie. Well, here it is, MSGT. This is Superman. He's one of the most famous, iconic characters. Everyone has an opinion who should play Supes. Everyone has an opinion who should play Lois. Everyone's even going to have an opinion about Lex, Jimmy, Perry, because they're iconic. This is not Guardians of the Galaxy anymore. This is not the Suicide Squad. When you're casting iconic roles like this, if you're casting James Bond or whatever, everyone, quite rightly, is going to have an opinion. For me, it's fun. Even if I see a piece of casting and I think it's a bit dodgy, I will wait to see what they look like in the film. when Matt Smith was announced as the Doctor. I thought, what the fuck? And then I fell in love with him, and I thought he was amazing. And when he done that party monologue when he left, I was in tears for fucking weeks. So yeah, we got to give these things a chance. But yeah, everyone's entitled to have an opinion. In fact, opinions are part of the fun. That's why I do this. John, what movie in June do you think will make the most money in the box office? Well, I'll tell you what you can do for me, John, just so I've got my facts straight. I know The Flash is out in June, of course. I know Indy's out in June. Why don't you do me a list of the main major releases in June, and I'll tell you what I think will happen. I may even rank them. But the Flash movie is definitely an unpredictable thing. It's interesting because for us DC fans, it's going to be the biggest thing in June. But we kind of had this feeling with Black Adam. Oh my God, it's going to be so big, it's going to make money, it's got The Rock in it, right? Didn't happen. I said Shazam would be Fury of the Gods would be a better movie than Black Adam. It was a worse movie than Black Adam. I prefer Black Adam. I don't know about you lot. So I think the Flash movie is either going to be an absolute rotten turd of a flop, or it's going to do really, really well, and people are going to flock back to watch it. That is an interesting film, and I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. Right. John, Transformers, Spider-Verse, Fast and the Furious 10. Right, this is easy. I think Transformers is going to be a bit of a dud. I don't think it's going to make a lot of money, and I don't think we needed another Transformers movie, and I think the consumer and the movie fan won't be planning to go. I think that film is going to make a little bit, might not be a disaster, but not a great deal. Spider-Verse is going to be fucking huge. The first film was sensational. I think in the future, these animated Marvel movies will make more money than the live action Marvel movies. And if I was Kevin Feige, I would think about doing these types of films now. They've got the Disney Animation House, right? One of the best animation studios, right, in the business. I think maybe rest the MCU live action and start releasing animated movies. This could be a way to go. But in terms of the story team with Spider-Verse, and this is Sony. Sony have done this. Say what you want about Sony. People mock Sony for Morbius and things like that and Venom. But at the end of the day, the first animated Spider-Verse movie was huge. And Spider-Verse is going to be massive. It's going to be a great movie and it's going to make a lot of money. Fast and the Furious 10 will do okay. I don't think it's going to break any records, but I think it will have a good, solid box office. And apparently, according to Vin Diesel, this isn't the last one. They're going to have a trilogy to finish off the franchise. Talk about milking it, right? Jesus Christ. So as I say, the Flash movie, I have no idea how that movie's going to do. I think it's either going to be terrible box office or it's going to be great. And it's going to be interesting when we get the reviews. Don't forget, the reactions we got from the screening at CinemaCon weren't reviews. They were movie reactions. That's it. And a lot of those reactions were from ordinary people like you and me who have got huge platforms with huge followings, and they were able to go there and watch the movie. Some critics weren't, I mean, not all of them, but a few of them had some interesting things to say. So I'm very interested to see what happens with the reviews of the Flash movie. So it's either going to do very, very well, or it's going to do very, very badly. I'm not convinced yet of one way or the other. As I say, I've learned not to make big predictions for DC movies now, because going back to James Gunn's Suicide Squad, I thought that movie was going to make $1 billion. I really did. That film should have made a lot of money, but we were during the COVID pandemic, day and date, because the Suicide Squad is a pretty good James Gunn CBM. It really is. It's a good, good if not great CBM. I don't think it's one of the best DCEU movies. Not one of my favorites, but I like it. I thought it was very, very good. I think Peacemaker was an even better movie. But so since then, I try not to make box office predictions, but I am not sure what way the Flash movie will go. It could be huge. I think it's either going to make lots of money, and I mean lots of money, or it's either going to make very little money. And I think the reviews and the Rotten Tomato scores are going to be very, very important for that movie. Also in June is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This is an interesting one because how many kids are interested in seeing this film? But what may happen is you may get parents taking their children. I don't know about that one because that film has been rumored to be problematic for a long time. But it is interesting who is going to own June. But I think Spider-Verse is going to be one of the films to own June. I think Fast and the Furious 10, I think, will be another movie that does really well in June. And The Flash potentially could own June, but nobody knows at this point. June is a very, very, very busy month. And I can't think off my mind right now what all the films are being released. But June is a very, very busy month. Are people, our general audiences, going to be interested in the Flash movie? Are superhero movies popular enough now? So, like Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, they're all showing off about the box office, aren't they? It's done so much better than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Well, Jesus Christ, most movies have done, far better than that movie. Well, apart from Shazam! Fury of the Gods, I mean, that's the only movie that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania did better than. So bragging that, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is doing a lot better than most Phase 4 movies. So MSGT, June is huge. Yeah, June is huge. So it's not a foregone conclusion what the Flash movie is going to do. There's a lot of movies coming out. As MSGT says, it's huge. So it's very unpredictable what happens. I don't even know what's coming out on the same week as the Flash movie. I mean, if I knew that, I could definitely have more of an idea if that movie is going to hit really big. But again, I don't know how critics are going to receive this movie. Are the reactions genuinely honest reactions, or is it just bullshit to keep access? But the reviews will be a lot more honest, and we'll see, because no one's got an incentive to be ultra positive in the reviews or fake positive, right? This isn't like one of those female-led movies where they all say it's great, like Birds of Prey. They said it was great, but it wasn't great. The reviews were positive. That was dodgy. It's obvious, right? And then look at the Rotten Tomatoes score for Joker. Freaking terrible. A superior movie to Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey probably originally on release had a better Rotten Tomatoes score than Joker, which is absolutely outrageous. That's why you can't really trust reviews. You can't trust the initial reactions when they have the premieres and they see the movies. You can't trust access media. And right now, movies, especially CBMs, are not making a great deal of money. So Guardians only had a 50% drop-off this weekend. That's great. It's made around $500 million. So in a week, it's made $500 million. That's great. Could this be James Gunn's first billion-dollar movie? I don't think this is going to reach $1 billion, but I could be wrong. I'm not a box office analyst. It'll be huge for him if this final movie does reach that. But so, this is the second. I mean, we're going into the second week. It's going to be interesting what happens there. So, I mean, if he comes in next week with 800 million on the third weekend, then I say there's a chance. But we will see, because superhero movies are not really making $1 billion anymore, are they? Haven't done for a while, I think, since 2019's Joker. Obviously, Endgame and Infinity War did well, but the MCU are not there anymore. So, yeah, the Flash movie is certainly one of those unpredictable situations. And I think that anything could happen there. It's very interesting. It's like seeing an explosion and seeing where the explosives go. You just don't know how that film's going to hit. But, you've got Zaslav saying it's the best superhero film he's ever seen. Gunn saying it's amazing, which he would, of course. Zaslav would say it's amazing. This is their one opportunity to make real money this year. I think June is another movie, the June sequel is another film where they can make a lot of money, but they don't have many opportunities this year to make big movies. And, you know, the Flash movie is one of those rare opportunities where they can make a lot of money, because Blue Beetle doesn't have the earning capacity of the Flash movie. Now, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom may have had that, but the Amber Heard situation clouds everything. Probably not going to make a lot of money. John, an animated movie called Elemental comes out the same day as The Flash. Now, that's interesting. I don't expect the Disney movie of today to be a threat to the Flash movie. Now, many, many years ago, WB wouldn't have even thought of releasing a Flash movie on the same release date as a Disney animated movie. That's how things have changed. Now, if this is a badly reviewed film and everybody hates it, Elemental could be a shock success, but I don't expect that to be the case, and it shouldn't be a problem to the Flash movie. Sometimes you think a film's going to be big, then the little film comes up and does better than the film you did. The box office is very unpredictable, especially these days. So is there interest from the general audience to come out and watch the Flash movie? The hype is one thing, the reality is another. And yeah, so I'm going to be like you guys, sitting there and seeing where this is going to go. What happens to the Flash movie? Is it going to be the success everyone wants it to be? Is it going to be the movie everybody says it is? I'm interested. I'm interested to see what happens with this movie. Yeah, I mean, will it even get to the box office of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Let's see how Guardians of the Galaxy 3 finishes when all the box office is said and done. So, yeah, unpredictable at the moment. I wouldn't start putting bets on how well the Flash movie is going to do. It's an unpredictable business, especially for the DCEU. The DCEU hasn't had a successful movie in 5 releases. So you're only as good as your last game, and the last 5 games have been pretty terrible for the DC Extended Universe. So this is the one, because if they don't make money out of this one, then you can forget about them making money from Blue Beetle, because if no one's interested in the Flash movie, why are they going to be interested in Blue Beetle? It's obvious, isn't it? But we will see. We will see, everyone. We will see, because, this could be... look, they want to make money, but this isn't the new universe. These films are not the new universe. They're from the old kind of leadership. So in a way, I know certain people will try and make a big deal if these movies fail, but it's not part of James Gunn's plans. James Gunn's plans are totally different than the movies we're seeing this year. So whether they make it or not is irrelevant to what he's doing. But of course, the studio wants and needs them to do well. They need to make money because they've invested in this content. So yeah, we will see what happens there. So I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you for joining me on this live video. I will be back at some point tomorrow with the DC Universe Daily, where we'll go over all of this tomorrow again, and I'll give you more details of what's going on, and any other updates I can find. We'll discuss it all on tomorrow's DC Universe Daily. MSGT laters. Laters MSGT. Thank you for coming in. If you haven't smashed the like button, please smash it. This has been Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Smash the like button if you love me. Subscribe if you're new. Please have your say. Until I see you again, see you later. Auf Wiedersehen. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for coming in, everyone. See you again soon.